Hey, Zach. For my civil action project, my group and I decided to work on gun control. We researched many events related to guns, and the Las Vegas mass shooting came to our minds. Our first thought was to ban assault weapons, but we knew people were concerned about the Second Amendment. From there, we proposed a ban on gun modifications and attachments. We thought of this because there's no reason to have gun mods and attachments like bump stocks or silencers because they are used offensively and for the shooter's benefit. We thought using such attachments and mods would be used more on the offensive and mainly to kill. We thought the main reason guns should be owned because of defensive purposes. These gun mods and attachments are not being used for defensive purposes, rather, they are being used for offensive purposes and to kill people. And we believe that is wrong.
Go.
So, as we researched, we used statistics and arguments from the New York Times and Washington Post. The New York Times had stats that showed how the US had more gun related deaths than other countries. The Washington Post talked about how such attachments worked and how they were being used. The attachments were being used more to have the guns fire faster, and it led to more gun related deaths at once.
Go.
So for my first civic action, I was to create a petition for the prohibition of gun mods and attachments. The petition would be posted on the social media that my group members would create. The text included past events and why such mods and attachments create a greater threat to the public. When I finished the petition, my group members approved it, and it was posted on the social media that they created.
Go.
My second civic action was to get the petition signed. I had my other group members do the same. Our goal was to at least get 50 signatures for each person who had the petition by the time the next civic action was due. We had to go around the school and our community to get these signatures for our petition. Unfortunately, we ran into an obstacle where we did not receive the amount of signatures we wanted. We concluded that this petition was not effective and we stopped getting signatures. And so I myself needed to think of another civic action that does not relate to this petition. So for my third civic action, I decided to go old school and make a flyer. I had to design this flyer so that one of my other group members would spread the word to the community with this flyer. The flyer, like the petition, needed some persuasive elements. The flyer included statements saying support our CAP and visit our website.
Go.
This project had its strengths and obstacles. The strengths we got pertained mainly to persuading people and social skills. We had to talk with many members of each of our communities and try to persuade them to help us out. Obstacles were that of people not supporting us because they were believers in the Second Amendment, and certain actions were not effective. The petition was not as effective as we thought it would be, but my group and I focused on other actions like advertisement to bring awareness. We accomplished bringing awareness to members of our community and discussing the problems with these gun mods and attachments. I learned how hard it was to persuade people to support us. I was expecting to hear a lot of people think bomb stocks should be banned, but there were those who just refused to listen because it was related to gun control. I learned a lot from this experience overall, especially from the research. I learned the effects of bomb stocks, silencers, and the effects that they had on gun-related tragedies. At first, I was not familiar with these attachments or even knew that they were easy to obtain. I believed that these mods and attachments should be banned. After recent events in Parkland and Las Vegas, I participated in protests and attended town halls to listen and to speak my mind with regard to assault-type weapons and attachments.
Go.
For me personally, I want to take part in events that educate people about gun control. I believe that people do have the right to own guns, but it should be just as hard to get a permit for a gun as it is to drive a car. I will continue to use my voice in protest. And in November, I will have the ability to vote for measures and people who will continue to fight. Thank you.